Hello friends, in this video we will learn how to code the modal with JavaScript. This is a very simple project that I highly recommend you add to your coding arsenal. Stay tuned. In case you don't know, a modal is a window or element that disables a parent window and appears in front of the parent window. As you can see here on my screen, I have a window open. It has a background image and a button named Open Modal. If I click the button, a new smaller element appears which blurs then disables the parent window. If I click the Close Modal button, it goes back to its original state. In order to save some time, I have already written the CSS of this project, but I will highlight some key properties in the CSS file that brings the modal to life. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any new video. Without wasting much time, let's start. I have already generated my boilerplate code. First thing I'll do is to link my style sheet and JavaScript file. I'll create a div with class container. In this div will be a button element with classes btn and openBTN. That's it for our parent page. Now onto the modal itself. I will create a div with class modal. Before I continue, let's go to the CSS file and take note of something important. This is the styling for the modal element that I am about to create. As you can see here, it says visibility hidden. This is the property that hides the modal at all times. Now look down here and you can see .modal.active. It has a property visibility visible. That means for our modal to appear, a class named active has to be added. For the sake of clarity, I will add the active class to the modal so you can see as I create the modal. Within the modal element, I'll create a heading h2 with content. This is the modal. Next is a p element, and in it, I'll create some dummy text. Just type lorem 30 and press tab and it will generate the dummy text with 30 words. If you want 100 words, just type lorem 100. Next is a button with classes btn and close btn. In it, I will input close modal. This is all the HTML I need to write for my modal. I will remove the active class since we don't have to add it manually. One final thing to note in the style sheet before moving on to JavaScript. This is the styling for the parent element with class container. Below it is an active class for the parent element. As you can see, it has a filter property which blurs the background when the modal is active. The pointer events property, which has a value none, makes the background inactive to any mouse clicks when modal is active. I will add the active class to the container in my HTML document so you can see for yourself. You can see the page blurs out and becomes inactive. Now I'll remove the active class since we will not be adding it manually. This takes us to JavaScript. Before I continue, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any new uploads. The first thing I will do in my JavaScript file is to select the HTML element that I will be manipulating. There are 4 in number: the parent element with class container, the open button, the modal, and the close button. Const open btn equals document dot query selector bracket opens dot open btn. I will copy and paste 3 times. Next is close btn. Classes close btn. Next is container. Then the class will be dot container. Finally is modal with class dot modal. Basically, what I'm going to do in our JavaScript file is to just tell it to add the active class to both the parent container and the modal anytime the open modal button is clicked. With that, I'll add an event listener to the open modal button. open btn dot add event listener, bracket opens, click, and then comes an arrow function. In the function, I'll type container dot class list dot add, bracket opens, active. I'll copy and paste and then change this to modal. Now I'll click the open modal button, and as you can see, it's working fine. Now the modal has to disappear when I click the close modal button. That means the active class has to be removed when the close modal button is clicked. I'll copy and paste this whole thing. Then I'll just change open btn to close btn, and then change add to remove. Let's see if my code is working. As you can see, the modal is working fine with no flaws. This is the simplest way to code a JavaScript modal. Thank you for staying with me until the end, and I'll see you in another video.